Do you ever just look at your mom and want to just get some serious, tough things off your chest? Well, it happens to the best of us. But in the journey of life, your relationship with your mother is a profound and heartfelt bond. This connection, often marked by openness and trust, also calls for wisdom and inner strength. Wisdom and strength for knowing what to say and what not to say. There are certain thoughts and feelings that, for the sake of nurturing this bond, are best kept unspoken. Let's reflect on 10 considerations to hold close to our hearts. 1. I hate you. When upset, you might feel tempted to say, I hate you to your mother. This phrase, though often a result of anger or frustration, doesn't truly capture your feelings. The impact of these words can be deep and lasting, hurting your mother's feelings. Remember, once spoken, words can't be taken back and might cast a long shadow over your relationship. While in that moment you might feel like that, it's important to have the presence of mind to think long-term. Instead, when you disagree or are upset with your mother, try to express your feelings calmly. Share your point of view respectfully. This opens the door to meaningful conversations and mutual understanding. This mature approach strengthens family bonds and avoids unnecessary hurt. 2. I'm sick of you. It happens sometimes. You've just had it up to your neck and you feel so sick of your mother at that moment. But as you will find in many of our videos, we prioritize taking a step back and internalizing your heavy emotions first. Think about the impact of saying, I'm sick of you to your mother. This statement, filled with emotion, can and will deeply wound her. Because while it would hurt anyone else, it especially cuts deep for moms whose identities are so intricately interwoven with their children. In moments of strong emotion, it's better to take a step back and reflect before speaking. This pause helps avoid saying something in haste that you might regret later. If you need to express frustration, be specific about what's bothering you. Say something like, I feel upset when I feel like my opinions aren't heard, or I don't like it when you do certain things. You might be sick of a specific action, and that's okay. 3. I don't need you. Yes, moms often have their identities entirely warped with those of their children. After all, they tend to be the primary caregiver and source of comfort before anyone else. Telling your mother that you don't need her can be more harmful than it seems. This phrase, often used by teenagers and young adults seeking independence, can deeply hurt a mother's feelings. Parents usually offer advice and their presence out of love and concern. Sometimes they do not realize that this presence can be overbearing. The chicks must leave the hen behind in the nest and find their own way, right? However, dismissing your mother can make her feel rejected and abandoned. As you grow and establish personal boundaries, it's important for mothers to respect these boundaries, and equally important for you to appreciate their concerns. A healthy relationship between a child and their mother is based on mutual respect for each other's boundaries. Try to listen to your mother's advice respectfully and then share your own views considerately. This promotes open communication and shows respect for her insights, even if you choose a different path. 4. I'm tired of helping you. Using the phrase, I'm tired of helping you, is not just a statement of fatigue, but a whisper of a deeper, more complex emotional landscape. Helping in its purest form is an act of love and support. Yet, it is essential to nurture growth and independence, rather than unintentional reliance. When the scales tip towards dependency, it may signal a need to reevaluate your approach to caregiving. It's crucial to ensure that your help is empowering, not inadvertently hindering anyone's progress or development. For adult children caring for an aging mother, or one who just needs a lot of help, the journey can be particularly challenging. The emotional weight and physical demands of such caregiving can feel like an unending marathon, especially for those who are doing it all alone, or without the support of siblings or other family members. This burden can lead to feelings of exhaustion and a need to reclaim your own life. Ultimately, you might need to confront the elephant in the room without using these harsh words or any similar words when doing so with your mother. 5. You're a bad mom. Parenting is a challenging and multifaceted role, and even the most dedicated mothers can make mistakes. It's important to differentiate between a parent who occasionally errs and one who is genuinely toxic or abusive. Toxic parenting involves behaviors like self-centeredness, physical or verbal abuse, emotional manipulation, and disregard for boundaries. In that case, it requires professional intervention. However, if a mother's actions don't fall into these extreme categories, calling her a bad parent is both unfair and harmful. Your mother may do bad things or make poor decisions, but calling her an inherently bad parent might not be right. Your perception and expectations greatly influence your reactions to our parents' actions. You must distinguish between a parent's actual shortcomings and your own unresolved issues or unmet expectations. Parenting practices have evolved with our growing understanding of child health and psychology. Approaching these matters with empathy and understanding is crucial for a healthy and respectful relationship with your mother. 6. You love him, her more than me. The expression, "you love him, her more than me," from a child often reflects their feelings, rather than a real disparity in maternal affection. This sentiment is common in families with multiple children and can lead to discord. It's not rare for a mother to genuinely favor one child over another. However, mothers can and do love their children the same, just in different ways. Such feelings of neglect may well and truly stem from actual neglect on the mother's part, or from a child's perception of a stronger bond with a sibling. That would be more about emotional resonance than preferential love. In cases where a mother might show preferential treatment, addressing this issue can be challenging. The best approach is open and honest dialogue, focusing on constructive communication rather than accusations. For mothers facing such sentiments, it's important to validate the child's feelings. Even if the notion of favoritism seems unfounded, the emotions behind it are real and need attention. Mothers should listen empathetically, try to understand their child's perspective, and reassure them of their equal love and affection. 7. I wish you weren't my mum. The phrase, "I wish you weren't my mum," is sometimes heard, particularly from young children and teenagers. For an adult to express this sentiment often points to a strained relationship with their mother. However, it's important to weigh the impact of such a statement. Mothers typically invest a great deal of emotional and physical energy into raising their children. Hearing such a harsh statement can make them question their parenting skills, leading to feelings of guilt and inadequacy. It can also imply that their sacrifices and efforts are not valued. In times of disagreement, it's better to focus on understanding rather than reacting in anger. Trying to see each other's point of view can prevent saying things in the heat of the moment that might be regretted later. The aim should be to foster communication and empathy, avoiding blame. 8. It's all your fault. This kind of blame, often arising from frustration or misunderstanding, fails to recognize the complexity of family dynamics and individual responsibilities. Blaming your parents for all life's challenges can lead to shirking personal responsibility and hinder your growth. It reflects an immature expectation that problems should be solved by others. True maturity involves recognizing that while your parents shape our early years, you are responsible for addressing your issues and how you respond to life's challenges. They might contribute to a lot of trauma you faced, but the older you get, the responsibility now falls on you to heal. It's also crucial to acknowledge that parents, though influential, are not the only factors in a child's development and behavior. Research shows that a child's peer group and social environment also significantly influence their self-image and self-worth, often more than their parents. This understanding is key to maintaining a healthy and realistic view of our relationship with our mothers. 9. Leave me alone. We all need our own space at times, and it's appropriate to express the need for solitude. However, when it comes to our mothers, a more thoughtful approach is recommended. Understanding the emotional complexities behind the desire to ask a parent, especially a mother, for space can be intricate. In some cases, parents might create distance as a form of self-protection or due to feelings of guilt or remorse. This behavior can lead to an unpredictable pattern of seeking closeness and then distancing. When navigating these situations, it's important to be sensitive and empathetic towards both yourself and your mother. Establishing personal boundaries for your well-being is essential. If your mother's actions have caused offense or pain, it's important to communicate this respectfully. If the distressing behavior continues, stepping back from the situation while ensuring your reasons are understood may be necessary. 10. I don't have time. For mothers, hearing "I don't have time" can feel dismissive or hurtful, especially when they seek meaningful interaction. When genuinely busy, it's respectful to explain your situation briefly and then make more effort to spend time with her. If your relationship with your mother has had its challenges, remember that she, like anyone else, is a human with her own flaws and challenges. In such cases, it may be beneficial to explore ways to improve the relationship. This might involve balancing personal boundaries with efforts to understand and empathize with your mother's perspective.